And now it's time for the markets with Artis Ford, and Leighton Spann is not with us today.
Well, Amy, the supply-demand report came out Wednesday, but not a lot of change was expected. Also ahead this week, world cotton consumption is expected to top production next year. Prices, however, are still lackluster. In terms of this year's cotton crop, feeder cattle prices have ebbed and flowed, but have remained supported for now. Well, the June supply-demand report was released at noon Eastern Time on Wednesday, June 10th. Unfortunately, that was about the time that this week's Farmweek was being produced, so we don't have the actual numbers for you. Trading was mixed in prior trading to the announcement. Brownfield reports that modest month-to-month changes were expected from the May report. Analysts expect corn ending stocks to be up around 30 million to almost 1.9 billion bushels. Allendale's pre-report estimate placed it slightly lower at 1.820 billion. The soybean carryout estimate is expected to be down slightly at 362 million bushels. Allendale's pre-report estimate placed it lower at 340. Trade estimates also expect the year-ending wheat carryout to be about 714 million bushels. That is slightly higher than the USDA's May estimate. The world's grain carryouts for the end of this marketing year are expected to show little change from the USDA's May report. Now, prior to the June supply-demand report, analysts were looking for the U.S. cotton crop to move upward about 1.25%. Last month, the U.S. Department of Agriculture said that it expects world cotton consumption in 2015 to 2016's marketing year to top production for the first time in 6 years. DTN reports that modest world economic growth and the lagged effect of lower cotton prices are expected to support cotton consumption. What does that mean for the 2015 U.S. crop? Analyst Tom Fitzenmeyer isn't optimistic. He says to be sure to price when some short-term price bumps happen. Otherwise, prices aren't inspiring.
I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they're just going to chop and go sideways. I mean, Chinese demand for U.S. cotton is way off, and I understand there's been a lot of problems in Texas, and that gave us a little run up earlier, but that's been sort of taken back out of the market. Again, you get little $2, $3, $4, $5 pops uses to make sales on. Other than that, I don't think cotton's going anywhere.
Well, it's time for today's trivia quiz on Farm Week. How many of you actually know a farmer? And that's where our question is leading today. How many farmers are there to know in Mississippi? This is according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Is the answer 22,000, 25,000, 32,000, or 38,000? I'll have the answer at the end of today's market segment. Feeder cattle prices declined last week but bounced back some at midweek this week. Fat cattle prices remained strong, but higher corn prices last week helped shave feeder cattle prices. Stronger fed cattle futures have helped prices to bounce back some this week. At this point, Tom Fitzenmeyer looks for feeders to remain strong, although not returning to the extremely high prices of the past.
So I think that's really a function of corn and good pasture conditions too have helped support that market. Again, the feeder's up in that 120 and 122 range. That's probably going to be kind of tough to get through.
Before we end the markets today, I need the answer to today's trivia quiz. How many farmers are there in Mississippi? Well, the actual number is 38,000. The close number, the correct number, is 38,076 according to the latest Census of Agriculture taken in 2012. 13%, or 5,282 of those, are women.